Well, there you have it. We are back, baby. Episode 34, Liquidate All Assets with Guru and Dibs. We're looking for a bounce back, Goo. We had a little bit of a tough start to January, but we here, we're doing it. And what do
We
you
don't
got for me
quit.
for episode 34? A lot of different directions you can go with number 34.
Now, being that the Warriors are on TNT tonight, taking on the defending champs, Milwaukee Bucks, I'm eager to see Charles Barkley and his comments on the Warriors and the guys back like Clay. So I'm going to go Charles Barkley since he wore 34.
Man, that's a disappointment as far as I'm concerned.
You look disappointed, too. You really do.
Man, I'm mad at you, Goo, as we like to say.
Who did you want?
You could have gone with they call me Sweetness because I like to dance, running the ball,
rest in
like
peace.
making romance.
Yeah.
And also the right-handed pitcher with the most no-hitters of all time, Nolan Ryan, wore 34.
Yeah. Wow. Now you got me feeling some type of way. I'm going to be okay, though. I'll make it up to you next week.
I love it because I'm not a huge Barkley fan, but Sir Charles will be on display tonight. Of course, it's Liquidate All Assets. Guru and Dibs brought to you by Livermore Casino. Get in on the action at Livermore Casino in downtown Livermore on First Street, Tri-Valley's only poker destination, offering also blackjack, three-card poker, baccarat with no player collection. Enjoy their 24-hour gaming floor, full bar and restaurant with indoor and outdoor patio seating. Watch all your favorite games at Livermore Casino, open 7 days a week. Visit us at 3571 First Street in downtown Livermore. On First Street, come on in today to Livermore Casino, Tri-Valley's place to play. Please play responsibly. Goo, it's 2022. We got a full slate of NFL wildcard matchups. I want to weigh in on the BetQL giving props. We got a full slate of ESPN NBA games tonight as well. But we start, Goo, with the big game tonight for us locally. The Warriors at Milwaukee, getting 1.5 with an over-under of 223.5.
You know what, Dibs? I don't know. I know Milwaukee's without Holiday. The Warriors coming off, I don't want to call it a bad loss because they came back on Memphis in the third quarter, but they're without Draymond Green. I know there hasn't been much talk about Giannis, and the Warriors are adjusting, all kind of guys, role players to their new role. And Steph, I guess I could call it somewhat a slump for his standards. So with that said, I'm taking Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee will win this game. I hope I'm wrong. In January, I have been, but I'm going to take Milwaukee in the points to win this by a bucket, Dibs.
Yeah, you and I both having a tough time so far in January.
We honest.
We always keep it real here, Goo, on Liquidate All Assets. I see a Warrior team that even when they've struggled, very good defensively. They're in the top 5 in defensive adjustment and overall defensive metrics. And I think Milwaukee, a team that likes a slower pace as well. I'm going to go ahead and play the under tonight, under 223.5. I think that'll be a close game, kind of a 108-107 kind of a matchup. The Warriors could come out on top. I'm a little bit afraid of the Warriors tonight based on the fact that, they don't have Clay playing full minutes. Draymond Green is going to be out. And, offensively, I haven't really seen it from Wiggins and Jordan Poole lately. So I'm going to play the under 223.5.
I like it.
What else do you have for tonight for the NBA, Goo?
You know what? I got the Los Angeles Clippers, who I guess last week got some good news that Kawhi Leonard, along with Paul, not be shelled for the season. But with that said, they're 500. They've been playing hard. I watch them. And came back on Denver the other night, down 25. They're in New Orleans. And I left the Pelicans for dead. But Brandon Ingram, they make you earn it and make you, play hard. But with that said, I don't know why the line is so low. The Clippers -1.5 on the road at New Orleans. I'm taking the Clippers, especially with the euphoria of coming back on Denver. I think they parlay that into a win, and they win this one easily.
So you think the Clippers are going to go to New Orleans and win this game outright?
Yes, sir. And obviously no Zion, but yeah, that's been the case all season. But I think the Clippers continue rolling, and they get it done.
Yeah, Clippers actually are +4 in this game, Goose. So the odds makers are expecting New Orleans to prevail
Wow.
here by 4 points. So Goo's going to take the Clippers plus the 4 at New Orleans. Is this a back-to-back spot for the Clippers? Or are they coming in fresh?
They're coming in fresh. Yeah, that comeback was 2 days ago. But it's funny, Dibs. I'm looking at it, and it must have changed. They're getting points, but on the money line, they're still money. What's that about?
Yeah, actually, I got it here on BetRivers.net. The Clippers are +138 on the money line. The Pelicans -167. So I don't know what numbers you're looking at.
Yeah, I got it right here. -110. You know what? I'm going to that up and take the Clippers outright on the money line, +165. I got my numbers wrong. I apologize. But I'm going Clippers to win this game outright, +165. I like that. Bet 100. What was it? I'll take it, Dibs. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, if you like the Clippers to win, then it's always a more sensible play to take it straight out on the money line as opposed to relying on the points. Are you looking at uwager.lv? Is that where you're getting that line?
Yeah, I'm looking. I got it right up here right now. And you know what, Dibs? What I did is my bad. I was looking at the over/under -110. I went over to the right and saw your figure.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. You're locked in on that to be sure. And, of course, coming up, the full NFL playoff slate of games. But I know you like one more NBA game. Portland is getting 11.5 at Denver. What do you think?
I'm going with the Blazers, and I know everybody's probably feeling down in Portland because of the Dame Lillard news, but they got a budding star. Anthony Simmons plays hard, and I watched him the other day go toe-to-toe with a few teams during the week, and I think 11.5 is kind of disrespectful. Denver's first game home after blowing that lead on the road to the Clippers, so I'm taking Portland and the points plus 11.5 to cover, Dibs.
Man, looking for that step-up performance with Damian Lillard, of course, out for 6 to 8 weeks after having surgery on an abdominal injury. So Portland going to be what does this do to Portland's overall hope, Goo, between now and the end of the year?
Oh, there's no hope. And let's just hope, thoughts and prayers to Dame that he gets healthy. I don't think he's coming back this year. And I think the blow up has started, and we will eventually, this will be the start of getting Dame in another uniform because CJ had the punctured lung issue. I don't know what to make of Nurkic. They just don't match, and they've been this way a couple of years, Dibs. And I think this was the death blow to the Dame era in Portland. No fault to him, but I think when he's recovered, we start to hear noise about him getting up out of there. And the question to me is, what happens to Chauncey Billups in all this?
Yeah, exactly. Because, the head coach oftentimes is the victim, somebody who ends up getting victimized by the way things go. I'm going to take one more NBA game, Goo, and this one goes against everything that I believe in. But Memphis has been too hot. They are prime for a letdown. I'm going to take Minnesota +4 at Memphis. I think that, it's been one of those cases where Memphis has been so hot and Minnesota undervalued. They're playing a lot better than many people would have thought they would have played. So I'm going to take Minnesota and hope for a letdown by Memphis at home. The Timberwolves +4 on the road.
Now, Dibs, I know you love head-to-head. I love me some Anthony Edwards. Cat, Karl Anthony Towns playing better, and they got some ballers, but I can't believe you're going against what Memphis has created, the hottest team in the game right now, and beating the Warriors on the stage that they did, watching Ja. Where is Ja? Just basically blossom to a star. I mean, that block in Los Angeles, I don't know what you thought, Dibs. What did you think of that two-handed going?
block, that two-hand erase with his elbow hitting on the backboard. You just don't see that. We're in USF, and he's rolling with me. Now the commenters are rolling with Dibber Claws. Minnesota's been playing well, and their coach is doing a great job. So yeah, Drew and I going head-to-head on that one tonight with Minnesota and Memphis. Coming up a little bit later, I'll give you my NCAA picks, including one of my picks, Goo, one of my three is underway, and another one that I didn't give out earlier, Kennesaw State. They are rolling at home over Florida Gulf Coast. Your boy is starting to get hot on the NCAA now.
I love it. Are they in the first or second half on that one when you deem it rolling?
Yeah, we got two more games. I wanted to make a pick on the Army game. Army's taking on Boston University, but that game actually is already tipped. So Army and BU tied at 7. I like Boston University in that game to win the game. The spread's 2.5, but that game's already tipped. So we'll give you some of those as we roll on here on Liquidate All Assets, brought to you by Livermore Casino. Goo, we got 6 playoff games this weekend. Does it get any better than that?
Yeah, baby. No, it doesn't. Hey, and it's in HD, all 6 of them.
Yeah, let's go game by game, Goo, and then we'll get into the props.
I'm ready to go.
After that. Let's start with the Raiders, the opening game, plus 5.5 at Cincinnati. The over-under is 49. What do you like, Goo?
I like Joe Burrow, and I love the Raiders story more than I love it. The fact that they're here with everything that's gone on with their season and their coach, losing a teammate in the fashion they did, Ruggs, and I just can't ignore what I saw from Dan Marino. Justin Herbert Sunday night. The fact that the Raiders couldn't stop him on those 4 downs, I think Burrow and company, with the receivers that he has at his disposal, pick up where LA left off. And I know it's 5.5, but I think it's Cincinnati's time, and we're watching a star be born in Burrow. And you talk about Jerry Rice. You just look at Jamar Chase and what he's doing, and he's not the only receiver that Burrow has at his disposal. I say all that to say is I don't trust this Raider defense, which has been improved the last few weeks, but I think there's just the pass is their kryptonite. And I think we see the Bengals come in here and take care of business at home. Dibs, I think this gets ugly, something like 34-17.
Yeah, I think you will be wrong. I'm actually going the other way. I think 5.5 is too many points. Derek Carr making his first playoff start is going to be motivated. And this Raider team has played very well since the John Gruden controversy and him being ousted as head coach. I like the Raiders here in a very close game. I was leaning toward the over on 49, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized that the Raiders are actually a good upset candidate in this spot, and you're giving me 5.5. And Cincinnati, not a very hostile environment. Give me Vegas plus the 5.5.
Let me ask you this about Vegas, and I hear you, Dibs, and it makes sense. Was it all euphoria for you, or did anything that I just mentioned about the defense, and you could call it a collapse on 4th down that enabled the Chargers to go down and tie the game? That didn't disappoint you in a bit?
No, it was a little bit unfortunate, but that was just one of those wild games where, either team could win it. Either team could have, moved on to the postseason. So it's just one of those times where one of those teams was going to win, one of them was going to lose. It was kind of a one-off. The Raider defense, I think, has been better than many people would have expected. And Cincinnati's offense, I like a high-scoring game. I like a back-and-forth game. And I think 5.5 is too many points. That's why I'm going to take the Raiders. Let's go to the second game on Saturday night. New England is getting 4 at Buffalo with an over-under of 44.
I heard it's going to be cold, and what's funny is Josh Allen's been paid, but he's not too good in the cold. It's numbers. So I think about what I've seen from New England and what I haven't seen. I don't know how much credence you give to the fact that they just went on the road and got beat up to end the season. I'm going under 44, Dibs. I don't think we're going to see a lot of points. You got the defensive guru on the hoodie. And then what I just mentioned, I don't see Diggs and Allen making beautiful music in this cold weather. So I'm going to take the under, and I'm pretty fired up about this one.
Yeah, I'm right with you, Goo. I think the weather is a big factor. And last time these two teams met, Bill Belichick only had Mac Jones throw the ball 3 times in a Patriot victory. Yeah, and I think that this game is going to be, from a formulaic standpoint, very similar to that game. I like a 17-14 kind of ball game. So I'm also going under 44 in New England at Buffalo. Well, we turn our attention to Sunday, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay. The Bucs favored by 8.5. What do you think?
I think the Eagles are lucky, and they already had their Super Bowl. The fact that they could get prepared for this game, I think Tom Terrific and the Antonio Brown debacle will be forgotten. It may never, ever really be forgotten. But on the scoreboard, Tom Brady goes out there and makes a point, and they run away with this game. I know 8.5 in the playoff game sounds a bit much. I think your boy Jalen Hurts is not ready, and the Buccaneers defense will waken up. They've been having trouble against the run, but these are the playoffs. This is wild card weekend. I'm taking Tom Brady to put up at least 40 points, and we see something like 40-21, Dibs.
Man, then the over would be a smart play, but Goo is taking Tampa Bay in a blowout, and I'm right with you, Goo. I think it is a Tampa Bay blowout. I think the Buccaneers offense gets going early and often. I'm taking Tampa Bay, giving the 8.5 to Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts, good story, good team, but Tampa Bay throws for about 125 yards a game more than Philadelphia does, and the game's down in Tampa. The weather will be good and rife for passing offenses. I'm taking Tampa Bay and giving the 8.5. Well, now, Goo, we get to the marquee game of the weekend. Your Cowboys against our 49ers. Dallas favored by 3.5. What do you think?
I mean, I'm nervous already, Dibs, and I got the intel on both teams, and Dallas is having trouble running the ball. Dak's under a whole hell of a lot of pressure. I mean, this could be career-defining for him from the fan base. He's only got one playoff victory in his career, and that's against Russell Wilson. But I look at the Niners, and they become just America's favorite football team, and I don't know if that's a bad thing. And I think Dallas is that from a standpoint of pressure, there's more pressure on Dallas and McCarthy to get this win. I've thought about it long and hard, and earlier in the week I was going Niners, and I meant it, but now I'm swayed, and I think Dallas against the wall comes out, and I think of that front line getting after Jimmy, because Dallas could not tame Kyler Murray a couple weeks ago, and I thought to myself, that would be a nightmare matchup. Now you get kind of a statue with Jimmy if you do get home. I'm taking Dallas to win this by 4 points, Dibs. I'm going with the Cowboys. It's not being a homer. It's just,
oh my God,
it's my guruisms. I tapped into it. I think the Cowboys win this game.
Well, it's another head-to-head matchup because I don't see it like that.
Well, there we go.
This Niner team will play bully ball, and I don't think Dallas can be physical enough on either side of the ball to really contend with the 49ers physical front. The commenters, by the way, Bay Area baller, I showed up to hear Guru pick the 49ers. I'm sorry.
What
You're
up?
gonna be disappointed. And we're dreaming of a Raider-Niners Super Bowl. All the commenters coming in, waiting for you to turn against. Yeah, you are nervous a little bit, Goo. I heard you on the air earlier, and I love the story you told about why you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, because of your grandparents back in Texas. That was a beautiful story, and I can't be mad at you for being a Cowboy fan, but I think you're seeing the game.
Maybe I'm not who then, right? Maybe I'm not who now.
No, I love you, Goo. That's just a bit. One more day of Steiny and Who, but I'm going the other way. I think the Niners are too physical, and their ability to run the ball, keeping Dak and the offense off the field. I like the Niners plus 3.5. Well, I have a feeling that this one we're going to both agree on. Pittsburgh getting 12.5 at Kansas City.
You know what? I'm going to shock the world. Mike Tomlin, and I've hated on him a few times during his career, and I need to check myself, and I have. I was going to come down Big Ben's road for saying they don't have a chance. But you know what I did in the lab? That means he's telling me they do have a chance. I watched that last game that they matched up. They got blew out, but it was a different blowout. And you're telling me you're giving Mike Tomlin the Steelers 12.5, and we saw Kansas City all season long not look right. Dibs, I'm going to go the other way here and say the Steelers don't win this game, but it's closer than a lot of people think. And we see Najee Harris get off on the ground game. We see Watt cause problems. I'm taking the Steelers in the 12.5.
Okay. I'm going over 46.5 on this one. And, if Pittsburgh's able to run the ball and keep Mahomes off the field, I'm in trouble. I think Kansas City scores a lot early. Pittsburgh gets some garbage time efforts in this game. It ultimately comes down to be about a 30-20 kind of ball game. Pittsburgh may cover the 12.5, but I'm going over 46.5.
I like that. That's one I may wake up Sunday morning like Dibs. I like, but Kansas City, if I'm wrong, they could get that themselves. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's what many people are thinking. Many people are thinking that Kansas City is going to light them up against Pittsburgh. Well, now we turn our attention to Monday Night Football, Arizona at the Rams. The Rams are favored by 4.
I hate that there's a Monday night playoff game and it's not my team, so now I'm kind of warming up to it. But when I tell you, seeing Sean McVay, I shared with you and Willard, running down the sidelines before the game was over, that was nerves. And Jalen Ramsey, what type of leader are you where you're hitting your own teammates? But for you guys collectively to wilt the way you did, up 17-0, I think there's something fundamentally wrong with the Rams. And you talk about the Olivia Newton-John and them being non-physical. I'm taking Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury to go on the road where they're 8-1 on the road. They may be 9-1 after beating Dallas. I like the Cardinals to win this game outright, Dibs, and I'm going to take the plus 160 on the money line. Cardinals in the Rams, and leave them with just questions galore about, did we really do Jared Goff like that? Because Stafford ain't it.
Wow. I mean, I think styles make fights, and the Rams are 12-3 this year against everybody not in red and gold. They're 0-2 against the Niners. They split with Arizona. They dominated them the last time. I'm taking the Rams at home, quote unquote, because we know it's not much of a home field advantage. Well, Goo, you know about the BetQL.com giving props contest, right?
Oh, it's amazing. We've been talking about it. Talk to me, baby.
I love it. Let's rip through these 9 props because we want everyone to go to BetQL.com and sign up for the Giving Props contest. You don't have to get any of them right in order to be eligible to win Cash Monet, as we talk about Monet Davis, the former great Little League pitcher out of the suburban area in Chicago. I give myself a 4 for Monet Davis, but
I'm going to give you a 4 too.
I appreciate it. Let's rip through it. Joe Mixon over under 91.5 rushing yards.
I'm going under. They're going to beat the Raiders in the air. And that Raider front, surprisingly, they've been getting it done to me compared to the beginning of the year. So I'm going under.
I'm with you, Goo. I'm under 91.5. I think you're right about the Raiders' run defense, and they'll be able to throw the ball in a high-scoring affair. In a shootout, I'm going under on Joe Mixon. Stephon Diggs, over under 6.5 total receptions.
I'm going over, Dibs. I said it's going to be cold, and you can have 10 catches. I mean, you're getting in the end zone, but he will be the number 1 target, and I feel confident in that one. I'm going over, and he's the type of guy, if he doesn't get that, Dibs, we could see some fireworks on the sidelines and helmets thrown.
Yeah, I'm going over as well. In that last bad weather game between these two, Buffalo still threw it a good number of
Yeah.
times, and Stephon Diggs is the number one target. Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, over under 294.5 passing yards.
This is easy. This is over. Tom Terrific probably put up 380, 400. Nothing surprises me. I don't have that much confidence in the Eagles defense. Dibs, I'm going over.
Liquidate all assets, apparently, Goo. And you and I are 3 for 3 because I'm also going over. I think without Leonard Fournette, Tampa Bay is going to look to throw it a bunch. Deebo Samuel, over under 36.5 rushing yards.
I'm going under. Dallas has, and let's not forget the Dan Quinn. Him and Shanahan got a relationship, but he knows this is coming. He knows it can't just be Elijah Mitchell. So I'm saying the Dallas front answers the bell. They may not win this game, but they don't let Deebo get off on the ground, because if they do, Dibs, the dam has broken and it's all bad for the team in the Lone Star State.
It's our first difference because I'm going over 36.5 for Deebo Samuel. I believe they will be able to pound the rock, and Deebo's going to get a lot of chances on that jet sweep, on tosses. I think he's going to break one. All he has to do is break one, and this thing goes over. Dak Prescott, your boy, your guy, over under 2.5 passing touchdowns.
I'm predicting Dallas to win. I don't think the Niners secondary, I know they're getting guys back, are past the flag issue, and that could come up all dependent on the crew. But again, this is a career-defining moment for Dak after the Tony Romo era in Dallas. I think he gets over 2.5 touchdowns. They got their tight end back. Now they got the 2 tight ends with Dalton Schultz. And you know what? I think Dak throws for 3 touchdowns, Dibs. I'm going with Dak to take the over.
That's head-to-head, Goo versus Dibs. I'm going under 2.5 touchdowns. He might get 2. He won't get 3. Ambry Thomas is starting to really show out. And, the rest of the secondary, Jimmy Ward is playing great. And I like the way the Niners are starting to get after the quarterback with more than just Nick Bosa. It's been a complete sort of committee, the pass rush. I think Dak will be under some pressure. I'm going under 2.5. Travis Kelce of the Chiefs, over under 87.5 receiving yards.
Oh, this I feel like this might be the biggest layup of them all. I'm going over. And he's been relatively quiet here in the past few weeks. He's been banged up, but he'll have his coming out party, and I can see him slicing that Steeler defense up. 87, I feel like that's a no-brainer, Dibs. I'm going over.
Yeah, I feel like 100 yards is in the offing for Travis Kelce. I'm also on the side of the over. Najee Harris, you mentioned him. You kind of like Pittsburgh to cover the number. Over under 77.5 rushing yards.
You know what? Kansas City's defense, I know they got Jones back and they made a jump and they look different, at midway juncture this season. But Harris is for real. He's a baller. Steelers are mad. They want to grind the clock and keep that prolific Kansas City offense on the sideline. I'm going over, Dibs, with your boy from Antioch.
Okay, I'm on the under. I think it's going to be a situation where Pittsburgh falls behind and they have to abandon the run. And remember, Najee Harris is a good receiver.
Yeah.
So I think he'll get receiving yards than he will rushing yards. I'm going under 77.5. Of course, if you want to get involved with these props, go to the contest at betql.com. The BetQL Giving Props contest. We're doing it throughout the postseason. Your chance to win cash prizes awaits you. 2 more, Goo. Cooper Kupp, over under 115.5 receiving yards against Arizona.
Wow, I picked Arizona to win. I remember the Monday night game between these 2 teams in Arizona. The Cardinals could not stop them. But if they're going to pull off the win, they know they got to stop arguably the best wide receiver in the game production-wise. I'm going under, and I'm a Kupp fan. I'm going under, Dibs.
Yeah, I'm a big Kupp fan, but that number is too high for me, 115.5. I'm also going under. I think the Rams will win, but I don't think that they're necessarily going to get that many yards. Kyler Murray, over under 248.5 passing yards.
Wow. You know what? That Ram defense, the second half, had no answer for Jimmy, especially that just embarrassing drive with no timeouts after Stafford threw it to Cup, a beautiful pass and give the team the lead. The Rams are no longer this defensive juggernaut. I'm going over for Kyler. Get busy, Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, I'm also going over. I think that Arizona's going to be behind most of the game and that they're going to be forced to throw. So I'm going to go over on Kyler Murray, 248.5. It's Liquidate All Assets brought to you by Livermore Casino, the Tri-Valley's place to play. Game day specials Sunday, 10 to 8, and Monday and Thursday from 5 to 9. Get a hot dog for $2.50. Chili dog, just an extra buck. Domestic draft beers for $2.50. Imports and well cocktails, only $4 at Livermore Casino, First Street in downtown Livermore. So, Goo, we're all set for Wild Card Weekend. Let me give you a couple of college basketballs before we dip out.
I'm ready. Let's go, baby. Hey, real quick, Dibs, you won't mind a weekend text from you? Like if I win one, I can get a text from you, right?
No, please come at me, text me.
Okay.
You know, I'm an open book. I'm always here for you. And I started doing my system for college basketball. I've got all my news and notes, and I've been dialed in. And you know, the first game I love today is Kennesaw State against Florida Gulf Coast. Kennesaw State was getting 4.5, and they won by 24. So that's not a game that I was able to give out on the pod, but it's on the sheet. I loved Boston University on the money line against Army. Right now, Army's up 24-21, but it's a pretty close game. Boston U was favored by 2.5. A couple of games that haven't yet tipped. Old Dominion. I gave this out earlier today on Willard and Dibs. We like Old Dominion minus 12 against University of Texas, San Antonio. They're bottom 50 in the country in offense, defense, and strength of schedule. So we're going to lay the 12 with Old Dominion.
Oh, that's big. All right, I'm watching. Hey, and I got to add something before we convene here. Remember I told you in baseball to always follow like the teams that aren't that good, like the Orioles, the Pirates, and Arizona. Well, the Cal Bears, I got love for the Bay, but their men's hoop team, Dibs, I know this, they have not been covering the spread at all because they're underdogs most of the time. And I've been doing some research, just throwing that out there to you and the listeners and the viewers. Cal Bear mid-team, man, not covering much here lately.
So are you going to fade Cal? Are they in action tonight? Are we fading the
No,
Bears?
not tonight. I was just kind of giving that to you for, moving forward. So when I see you again next week, I can tell you, what? They were 1-4, 2-3. But, yeah, even at home, the other teams have just been covering on them.
I love it. There's so many college games on the docket tonight. Once college football ends, college hoop really ramps up. And I got one more for you, Goo.
Okay.
And it's Oakland University at Cleveland State. The spread is 1.5. According to my numbers, Oakland University should win this game by about 15. We're going to take Oakland on the road and 1.5 at Cleveland State.
Well, there you go. I love it. I appreciate the homework, Dibs. Let's get it. Let's get this chicken.
I love it, Goo. Be well, my brother. I love you. I can't wait to see you. And I'll see you tomorrow on 95.7 The Game.
Take it easy, Dibs. Late.
Ahala.